Hey everyone! In the theory lesson, I showed you how to work with Visual Studio, how to create projects, solutions, files, and how to manage them. So in this practical lesson, we're going to repeat some of that stuff one more time, just to reinforce it. That way, in the next lesson, we can jump straight into coding. So you've got a list of tasks in front of you. Pause the video, try to complete them on your own, and then come back and continue watching. Let's get started. First task. Pick a Visual Studio theme and a font for your code that you like. Alright, open up Visual Studio. You can click Continue without code in the bottom right. Once Visual Studio launches, go to the top menu, click Tools, then Options, and somewhere in the middle, you'll see Color Theme. Just pick whichever one you like. I personally use dark. Next is changing the font, or you can just leave it as is. To change it, go to the search bar in the top left, type fonts, hit enter, and I'm sorry. Hit enter, and you'll see fonts and colors. Click that, and a window will open. Here, you can choose any font you like. I'm using JetBrains Mono. If you want to find other fonts online, you should look for monospaced fonts. That means that every character takes up the same amount of space. You can go to Google Fonts, set the filter to monospace, and pick whatever you like. Just keep in mind that some fonts don't support all languages. You can also find JetBrains Mono there if you want to use the same one. Task 2. Create a blank solution. It's a blank solution template. Open it in File Explorer and see what's inside. You can close Visual Studio and reopen it to get the project creation window, or you can just go to the top left, click File, New, Project Solution. In the window that pops up, type blank solution in the search bar at the top, select it, give it a name, and create it. On the right side, you'll see an empty solution. To open your solution, project, or any file from the Solution Explorer in File Explorer, just right-click on it and select Open in File Explorer. That'll open the folder for you. Right now, you'll see that the folder only contains the solution and a hidden .vs folder. If you don't see that folder, it probably means hidden files are turned off on your system. Third task. Delete the solution you created in step 2. Then open Visual Studio and try clicking on that solution in the recent projects list. Visual Studio should tell you it no longer exists. If you go into File Explorer and delete the solution right now, it should work without any issues. Now let's try this. Close Visual Studio, open it again, and select the solution we just created from the recent project list. You'll see a message saying the solution can be found, and it'll ask you if you want to remove it from the list. Just click Yes. Also, if you have other projects in that list, you can right-click on them and select Remove from List if you don't want them showing up there. Fourth task. Create a C++ project, empty project template, and name it Project 1. Inside it, create a main CPP file in the Source Files folder. Add this code. Try building the project and running it using Ctrl plus F5. Alright, let's start by creating the project. Click Create a new project. On the left side, you might already see empty project. If not, just search for it in the list. Name it Project 1 and click Create. Next, right-click on Source Files, go to Add New Item, or you can just press Ctrl plus Shift plus A, which opens the same window. Name the file main. Once it's created, write the code from the task, and then run it using Ctrl plus F5. Fifth task. Customize the console window appearance however you like. I already showed you how to do this in the theory lesson, so let's just quickly go over it again. Run any project so you can bring up the console window. Then right-click on the title bar, select Settings, go to Defaults on the left, and in the center, choose Appearance. That'll open a menu where you can customize the console. Pick a theme, change the font, and adjust the font size. I've already set everything up the way I like it, and I'll try to stick with these settings throughout the course. And sixth task. Try creating 2 more projects inside the solution you made in task 4. In total, you should have 3 projects in that solution. In each project, create a main CPP file and write the same code as in task number 4. Set up the solution so that the project you currently have selected is the one that runs. Then build and run each project. After that, open the solution folder in File Explorer and take a look at what folders and files were created, both in the solution folder and inside the individual project folders after compilation. Try to find all the executive files that were generated. So, create a blank solution in Visual Studio. The name doesn't really matter. Inside that solution, create 3 projects. You can name them whatever you want. After creating the 3 projects, go into each one and add a .cpp file. Just create one per project, ideally name it main. Then the name doesn't matter much right now, but it'll be important later. If the first project, in the first project, write the same code we've been using so far and then just copy it into the other 2 projects. Save everything, then go into the solution settings. Select current selection, click OK, and run each project one by one so they all get compiled and generate their .exe files. Now, let's open File Explorer and see what got created. Here's what you'll notice. You got your solution file, a hidden .vs folder, and also an x64 folder. If you open that, you'll see a debug folder. Let me explain that real quick. x64 is the platform you're building for. If you look at the top of Visual Studio, you can choose whether to build for 64-bit or 32-bit. We're not going deep into that right now. Inside that, you'll see the debug folder. Visual Studio has 2 main build configurations, debug and release. Debug is used while you're developing, so you can use debugging tools to analyze your program. Release is used when you're ready to ship your product. It's optimized and usually smaller in size. For now, we're only working with debug. If you open that folder, you'll see your .exe files. There should be 3 of them. You'll also notice some additional files that are used for debugging. Try running those .exe files directly. You'll see that they open and immediately close. That's different from running them inside Visual Studio. The reason is that Visual Studio automatically pauses the console after the program finishes. When you run the .exe file directly, there is no pause. So the console just opens and closes right away because your program doesn't do anything yet. We'll fix that later. Now go back to the main solution folder. You'll see 3 folders, Project 1, Project 2, and Project 3. Inside each of them, you'll find similar files. Open any of those folders and you'll see the project file, a couple of additional files related to the project, not important right now, your main.cpp file, and an x64 folder. That x64 folder is considered an intermediate output folder. It stores all the intermediate build files. For example, inside it, you can find a .obj file. That's an object file. I already talked about object files in the lesson on the compilation process. Alright, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can also share this channel with your friends. If you want extra practice, you can become a channel member to get access to additional hands-on videos where you'll reinforce what you've learned by solving different tasks. Or, if you'd like, you can support me through the link in the description or by using the thanks button on YouTube. All of this really helps the channel grow and motivates me to keep making more videos for you. See you in the next lesson. Take care.